start with Brent and go to Adam.
When you watched the tape back, what did you like fundamentally that Joey did, and what you want him to kind of move forward and improve on some things this week?
Yeah, fundamentally, in the past game, what I really liked about him was he did everything that we were working on through that brief offseason that we had together with his left shoulder, tracking his targets, getting out to his throws, especially to his right. It didn't all of a sudden revert back to old habits when now it's live fire, now it's live bullets. He just was the same guy. He's got that same calm heartbeat throughout. That's what I love about this guy. Like when he takes the field on game day, no different than when he takes the field at practice. And we'll just keep pushing to keep cleaning up all of our footwork in the run game, just accelerating all that, keep bringing that to an even higher level. But really, really happy with the way he took the field on Saturday.
You guys went fast at times. What did you think of the tempo? And does that pace, is that a mode that you guys want to be able to go into, or do you want that to sort of be the norm, the tempo?
Yeah, our tempo is a part of our identity, but what we've always told the guys is our tempo is a weapon. It's not something that we're going to do if it doesn't make sense. So there's multiple times where you guys saw us changing formations, going from wide to tight, tight to wide, all of that type of stuff, and that's something that we've added to our arsenal that we feel really good about. When the tempo's not there to be had, whether you take a negative, whether there's a penalty, something that knocks you off that. And nowadays with the new rules, anytime you go out on your own sideline, it slows you down. So we've been working all offseason on how do we keep creating advantages even when we don't have our tempo, so our tempo stays an advantage. It doesn't just become a regular thing.
Ryan.
Joe, you mentioned adding things to your arsenal. You guys gave some different looks Saturday that we hadn't seen before. What was sort of the thought process that went into that this offseason, and what did you feel like those things kind of give you in the offense?
Yeah, as soon as the season ended, it was like, all right, what's the next growth in the offense? What do we need to do to keep improving? And we felt like by showing some stuff like we did yesterday and really growing the package, we got a bunch of different ways to attack the defense. Like you saw us go wide and fast and hit a big one up top to Braylon, and you saw us get tight and move people around and hit big shots on that as well. So just the offense is always growing. It's our job to put our guys in the best situation possible, and whether that's wide, tight, fast, slow, moving, not moving, we're going to do that and let our guys have the best chance to go play at a high level.
Patrick and Paige.
Joey, kind of going off that with all the things that you guys added and all the things you guys showed for an offense with 8 new starters and a lot of new pieces to execute and operate as well as you guys did, how much confidence does that give you guys as a staff that you can continue to build?
Yeah, a bunch. It's one of those things. We really like the group we took the field with, but as to your point, it was 8 new ones. It's like, all right, what do we really have? So leaving the field on Saturday, we know we got a tough, smart, competitive team, and you fill your locker room with a bunch of guys that are tough, smart, and competitive, you're going to have a chance every Saturday. So they grasped the stuff we were doing at a really high level. We don't anticipate that changing, so the guys that we roll out there with every Saturday, we feel like give us a competitive chance to go get a win.
When you looked at third drive on offense and it was the fumble on the play with Aguilar and I believe Thomas on the handoff, how much of that can you attribute to just maybe lack of time, and how do you correct that miscue moving forward?
Yeah, it was exactly as you said. It was a miscue. It was 2 guys left on different pages right there, and that's, again, to your point, that comes with time, that comes with reps. That was both of their first drive in a game together. They had no spring together to do it. They got a little bit of summer, but again, live fire is a little bit different. So, something like that happens in a win, man, it ends up being a real positive because now you get to learn from it. You don't have to learn from it from the side of it cost you a ball game. So just getting us all on the same page, and that's always the push whenever you've got a team that, I'm going to call it young, even though they're not all young age, they're young playing together, getting that cohesion is always a huge part of what we push for every day.
Rob.
Coach, that was our first look at Star Thomas in fantasy uniform. Did he surprise you guys at all? Did you know that was coming?
Man, he was really impressive. Again, a guy that we saw a lot of flashes from in practice, but until you get to do it on game day, like he hit a whole different gear. His ability to go catch the ball, like go sky on that scramble drill where he went and got the touchdown, like thought he could do it, but to see it was really big time. So watching him play, get just another weapon in the offense that you can feed the football to and get in space and can create problems for the other team. It's an exciting notion to have that guy.
Joe, in terms of personnel, were there more guys that have earned playing time that you wanted to get in and the game situation just didn't allow it? Or talk about the kind of the depth that maybe didn't get a chance to play.
Yeah, we feel like there's a really talented young roster here. and now I am talking about the actual young guys that are year one or year two here. A lot of them did get on the field, but we feel really confident with all those guys, getting their chance that they'll come out and show out at a high level. Again, throwing those guys in trial by fire, sometimes it's a necessity, but a lot of times for truly young players, letting them kind of feel the way in, getting them under the lights, getting them in the big situation, but not throwing the whole game on them like right from the rip allows you to have a whole season where guys can come in and be actual contributors, and you're not killing someone's confidence in a week one when, different from high school football to in Atlanta against a Power 5 team.
Joe, we saw the running backs be incorporated a lot more in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something in the offseason you said, hey, we need to incorporate that in the offense, or you've had it in the offense and your personnel lends to being able to do it now, where maybe you haven't in the past? How did the evolution of kind of their involvement in the pass game come about that we saw in week one?
Yeah, again, it was, in the off-season study, like, what can we do to be better? Like, that's always what you do. As soon as, January hits, no matter what the previous season looks like, how can we be better? And we felt like being more multiple, including the backs in the pass game, including the backs in wide sets and getting them out in space, it does nothing but help us. We like all our backs. If we like them carrying the football in the box, man, why don't we like them out on the edge running with the football? Now, they, to your point, have to have the skill set to be able to do that, and we feel like they do. So getting them in space, getting them in grass is something that we're looking to do. How do we do it every week? What's a creative way we can get a guy a ball in grass and let him go play?
Brian?
How do you assess what you got from the tight ends, and then particularly Ethan Davis, even though he wasn't able to catch a pass?
Yeah, we had him a couple times, didn't end up connecting to him. One time the ball went another direction that he ran a beautiful route on. Feel like he's a guy that can create mismatch opportunities for us, especially as you get closer to the end zone. Did an elite job blocking in the core. That guy has come a long way blocking. He had a big-time game, so did Kitts. Kitts had a couple big-time catches for us where, him and Joey actually got on the same page. Two of those were broken plays that they just got on the same page on, made one a big first down, one a big touchdown there to seal it at the end. So feel like that room is operating at a really high level. They're coached very well. They're all ready to play the multiple different spots that we have for them. So it's a room that we can use to, again, try to create competitive advantages on a Saturday.
Last two, Casey.
What's the biggest improvement you would want to see Joey take from week one into week two this weekend?
Yeah, I think it goes back to, his decision-making was really, really good. Just felt like a couple of them, we got a little accelerated on the run-pass stuff where we're, reading conflict players and all that type, where we got a little accelerated and we weren't as accurate as we could be in those situations. If we grow in that area, the completion percentage jumps up, the yards per attempt jumps up. So quarterbacks know we always talk about that type of game. We create the runs after catch with the accuracy of the throw. If you're a little bit off, even subtly, it shows with how much the receivers can stretch the run on the back end. So we'll just keep growing in that, and that just defining our eyes, defining our feet, and that's something that every quarterback has to continually improve on because it happens so fast. There are so many different looks, especially when we're pushing the tempo. It's a more difficult thing than I think people realize. So he handled it at a high level, but again, love to see it even grow more.
Building off the last couple of questions, Joey was able to get the ball to like 8 different balls. How much of that is a testament to his hard work, and how much will that be kind of a staple of the team moving forward?
That is something that we're priding ourselves on, is there's not just a guy. There's plays for this guy, plays for that guy, and plays that you just call, and who gets open gets it. But it is a testament to how hard Joey's worked. He's put in so much time with these wideouts, so much time in his own. The guy lives in the film room. He's up there with, Landry or Jared, our 2 other quarterback coaches, going through cut-ups, going through, personnel tape, going through the call sheet. You're rarely in the building, and he's not in there getting some kind of work in. He prepared at an elite level. Don't expect that to change, and that's why he played at a really high level on Saturday. Every Saturday is different. You got to go out and reprove it every time you take the field, but the preparation that he put in, the film study, the work, all the extra walkthrough time, it showed on Saturday.